So about a year ago, I moved my small business into my first ever studio space. And I remember thinking at the time, wow, I am way in over my head. This is just way too much space. And then a year later, here we are, and this just happened. My name is Bennett, and I run a sustainable crochet and yarn business here in Montreal, Canada. And less than a month ago, we just knocked down this wall right here and basically doubled our square footage. Is this crazy? Maybe. But as you can see, it's been less than a month and this new studio is already full. Now there's so many reasons that I chose to do this big expansion, but to be honest, none of that matters right now because with more space, it means more decorating and I cannot be more excited. Since this is my business space, I want it to be fun, I want it to be professional, I want it to be inviting and exciting, and the main way to do that with any space is to DIY. So Clawlab kindly sent me their tufting kit and I am so excited. They are the sponsor of today's video and I'm going to show you how cool this thing really is. So let's unbox it. So here's everything that comes in your kit. You get an assortment of yarn, backing for your finished projects, the H1 tufting gun, which apparently is quieter and lighter than ever. We are gonna put that to the test. And of course your tufting frame. So let's start with assembling that. Wait, I also received this little package which comes with more tufting cloth and more backing cloth. So we got lots to work with. Okay, I realize this background probably isn't as aesthetically pleasing, but that's why we're doing this craft, to make this space look a whole lot better and cuter. Okay, that was like so quick, that literally took me less than 10 minutes. The frame is all set up, the fabric is nice and tight on here, and we're ready to get going. And now begs the question, what do I even want to make? The possibilities are literally endless. With this whole theme of a new studio and decorating, my walls are very plain, to be honest. Exhibit A. And I just feel like we are in need of some wall decor. And I thought it would be really cool if we tried to do yarny as a rug. I am nervous. I have never tufted before and I'm scared to see how it'll turn out. This is clearly not a simple design and I might be in over my head. So I thought we could maybe start with my original logo, which is just the LE right here. So I already went ahead and printed that off. And what I'm gonna do is tape this to the back side of the fabric and trace on the design onto here. So I have a guideline while I'm tufting. Can you see that? Can you see that? Maybe I'm in over my head, but I think I can do this. Let's see. But obviously, if we're gonna start tufting, we need a tufting gun. So let's unbox this guy right here. The H1 tufting gun is the world's lightest. It's actually only 1.2 pounds. And it's also whisper quiet, which you will see once we get tufting just how quiet this thing really is, which means it's perfect for home studios and apartments. It's also the safest machine on the market given how it's made. You don't have to worry about anything getting caught while you're tufting. And allegedly, the H1 tufting gun is extremely beginner friendly, which is why we're here. We're gonna put that to the test. Okay, it is a new day and we have made some progress. I have gone ahead and traced my logo onto here. You probably can't see it from your angle. I've also gone ahead and loaded my tufting gun, which was so easy. You just basically take the thread tool that they give you, thread it through hole A, and then you're good to go. So now we can try this out. I am going to start with a couple test swatches just to see and kind of get the hang of it. The 2 tips I've learned so far is number 1, never hold the tufting gun at an angle. You want to hold it perpendicular to your fabric. And number 2, you want to go from bottom to top or from near to far. I don't know how this is gonna go, but let's go for it. I think we did our first line. Line check. This one's my best one. Okay, I just tried a few horizontal lines and I'm getting the hang of it a little bit more. I think it really is just a feeling. It's kind of intuitive. You gotta work with the fabric because if you go too quick and you kind of go against the speed that it wants to go, you're gonna get these little bumps and fallout pieces that don't wanna stay. Whereas if you want that clean line like this one here, you just really have to listen to the fabric and the speed of the gun and kind of match everything up perfectly. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. This is only our first run, and it's not bad to be bad at something as a beginner. I'm gonna go with this green color, and we're gonna attempt to do my Loose Ends logo. Okay, that was not bad at all. I'm definitely realizing it's important to keep this threading tool near you because as a beginner, the yarn tends to cut a lot, and so you'll need to rethread quite a bit during your project. Oh, I just realized that I have to do it backwards. This is the back side of the project, so I should have traced this backwards because this is gonna be the wrong side. Okay, wait. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back, and the logo is much clearer now. I ended up using a marker because since this is gonna be the back side, it doesn't matter if it's a marker. If you can see it, you're not gonna see it anyway. Take two. Okay, I think I've just about finished the border of my drawing. This probably wasn't the best idea for a very first beginner project, but that's okay. Especially all these curved lines and like tight edges. It's not very easy, but I'm learning quickly. So that's the lesson there. My favorite part about this is that if you ever mess up, you can literally just pull out your work and try again. I think I'm gonna leave it there for round one. That's what it's looking like. Okay, wait, that looks way better on camera. Oh my God. Whoa. It is a new day, and I just wanted to talk about my experience with using this so far because I am actually very impressed. This is marketed to be one of the lightest and quietest machines out there, and I can honestly say it's very true. Like I said, I've never tufted before, but I have done things with crafting where you're required to hold things like this, and after not very long, the material and the machine just feels very hard and heavy. It can be exhausting, honestly, and hard on your body, but it's a couple days later, and I feel no soreness or anything. This was such a breeze to use, and I am very much enjoying it. So today is the big day. We are moving on to our bigger project. As you can see behind me, I've gone ahead and traced out Yarny. I feel good about it. I made sure it was reversed, and I even labeled what color yarn to use where because God knows I'm gonna mess that up. And I think we should get started. This is what it looks like after I finish all the white parts. I think it turned out very well. Mind you, after it's fully done, you still have to trim and kind of shape up all the edges and make it actually look clean and fresh and precise. I'm very proud of how it looks, let me say that. And considering I've had like 1 day of experience, this is great. Have finished the outline. Guys, I promise I'm not that good at this. It's just so easy. This is honestly going so well, way better than I expected. Some things I'm noticing, you can definitely add more width or substance, density, that's the word, if you go over the same spot a few times with the gun, and it'll make the carpet probably look more full at the end rather than going through things once. I ended up doing that for all of the arms here, like the thin lines. I was just gonna do once and make it nice and small, but this is the front side. Okay, that looks kind of creepy right now. I'm actually shocked at how good this looks. Next, I'm going to outline the eyes here, and then I can just start going at it with the body. I've been keeping it slow for the outlining, but now that I'm doing the body, I can pick up speed, which is very easy to do. You just press this button on the back here, and you crank your dial until it turns fully green. Let's be humble here. I'm gonna go with that. So I ended up filling up the rest of the body off camera, and then I wanted to finish the rest of the project with you guys. And spoiler alert, it is a lot. I'm just taking my fabric off of the frame right here, which was super, super easy. And here are my 2 finished projects. It's crazy to see them off the rack, I guess you could say. And next it was time to trim everything. So I laid it down on my table, got my fabric scissors, which are super helpful compared to regular scissors. And again, I started with my LE, my first project, just as some practice before I went on to Yarny, the main event, if you will. I'm pretty sure professionals have like some sort of razor that they shave down the fabric with, so this was not as easy as I thought it would be. And I know that there's lots of really good techniques that you can do to make it kind of stand out and might kind of have that bubble effect. And moving on to Yarny, I quickly realized how hard this was going to be because of all the detailed line work that the LE logo did not have. Although it was thin and lots of grooves and curves, the Yarny logo just is on another level, and you'll see with the finished product that definitely came into play. I mean, at the end of the day, I am a beginner at this, so I wasn't expecting too much, but I was really excited during the process, and this point in the process kind of humbled me a bit. And after I finished my cutting, it was time to cut everything off of the fabric, so I just cut both Yarny out and my LE logo. But at this point, I just decided to pursue Yarny only because that was my original intention. So I spent quite a few minutes lint rolling the projects, which obviously there was lots of excess from the cutting. As expected, it was a little bit messy, but that's totally fine. That's the beauty of crafting. And then it was time for the final step, which is to put my backing on my rug. Clawlab also sent me their heat press kit, which is basically just like a big iron, which helps you add glue to your project and then stick easier to the backing. So I would definitely recommend getting this as well if you are interested in the tufting kit. I let that sit for a bit, peeled off my parchment paper, and finally, I went in with a glue gun and just glued everything down onto the backing so it could be nice and sturdy. And finally, we have a finished project, so let's take a look. You guys, we are finished our rug. I'm excited and nervous to show you. 3, 2, 1. Here are my thoughts. For a very first project, let's keep this in mind through all of this. This is my very first rug tufting project ever. You know, I gotta give myself my 10s. I did a good job. I think especially the body and the eyes are really good, but I kind of lose myself when we get to the hands and the feet. Probably my bad for picking a design that is so intricate and detailed because there's just a lot more room for error, as you can see at the top here too. I ended up doing the final outline in white, and I think that's what kind of brought it over the edge and made it not as clean in the end. So now I know for next time I will probably do a bigger, maybe like rectangle or circle or something with the design in the middle of it. As for my final thoughts on the H1 tufting gun, I am very, very impressed, guys. You know, they really make it a selling point. It's light, it's durable, and it's easy to use, and I think all of those things ring true. I mean, you heard me talk about it in this video, but this was so light to hold, it like didn't hurt my arm at all, and the setup process was so straightforward, so easy. I think the true sign of any good craft is even as a beginner, you still want to do it and learn and use it, and that's exactly how I felt. Even through not getting a perfect project or like maybe getting a little stressed here and there, I was still wanting to pick this up and use it every single day, which is a telltale sign for me, honestly. I'm really looking forward to putting this up on the wall in my studio somewhere, maybe even right above the mirror over there would be cute. But you guys have to let me know what I should tuft next. You can leave it in the comments and I will respond to you guys and figure out what my next project will be. If you want to get an H1 tufting kit for yourself from Clawlab, make sure to click the link in the description because I will have it linked there. It's honestly the perfect beginner project if you're looking to entertain yourself and for another side hobby because we could all use something to de-stress from our busy lives. Thanks again to Clawlab for sponsoring this video, and I will see you guys next time.